Terrifying moments for some tourists in Arizona after a major mix-up. This newly released body cam video shows officers walking up to men with their guns drawn. They even put on handcuffs, but these guys did nothing wrong. Turns out their car was reported stolen, and they had no idea. It was a rental from the car app called Turo.
Understanding that because they were using an app that they had by all intentions used before, that the car was legitimately theirs to use at their leisure. They had paid for it legitimately. They thought that the car was available to them and had no idea that the car was registered stolen.
Wow. The men were let go after everything was all sorted out. Turo says the host had previously reported the vehicle as stolen, but it was not removed from the police department's stolen vehicle database after it was recovered. We've heard about this app before after the terrorist attack in New Orleans and also that attack in Las Vegas where they had rented those vehicles. So it seems like there's some kinks maybe to work out here. Kcal News Mornings at 9 starts right now.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
Ahead of the storms, a warning to evacuate has been issued in Sierra Madre. Officials urging caution as the threat of dangerous conditions rises. We'll have a live report.
In a closely contested decision, the Supreme Court has ruled on President Trump's request to freeze billions of dollars in foreign aid.
And yes, it's almost spring, but one celebrity still has her Christmas tree up.
What?
Hear her reason for keeping up with the holiday spirit all year long. But first, let's take a live look outside at the Santa Monica Pier. And boy, is it getting grayer and drearier as the morning goes on. Long Beach as well. The cloud cover is moving in. We hope you're having a good morning watching Kcal News Mornings at 9. Today is Wednesday, March 5th. I'm Jamie Yukas.
I'm Ruta Shabazi. Thanks for joining us. Kalina and Paul are with us as well with your next traffic and weather. And we are keeping our eye on this incoming storm.
The drear is going to get is going to increase throughout the day.
The drear is here?
Yes, the drear is here, and it's here to stay. 2 days. We look outside and show you the radar, and yeah, the rain's moving in, just like we told you Wednesday morning. Thursday is going to be a little soggy. A couple pockets of heavier rainfall. It will be a dreary day today. It's going to be a dreary afternoon tomorrow. Good news is the drear goes away for the weekend. Live radar. Top of the hour, we have some heavier showers hugging the LA and Ventura County border. That would be those of you watching us in Calabasas and Simi Valley and Thousand Oaks and Agora Hills. The drive on 101 is always slow. It's slower when we've got this, a steady rainfall stretching over the beautiful Santa Monica's just west of Zuma Beach. We are seeing some showers. Now, you're not getting rainfall in Orange County, and you're not getting rainfall in the Inland Empire. Why? Because this storm, like most, is moving west to east. So the leading edge of just some light showers has made it to Lakewood, has made it to Downey, West Covina, but it's going to be a while before it makes it to the Chino Hills and then over the Santa Anas toward Lake Elsinore. Your rain will come this afternoon. Here's a view from Mount Wilson. Lots of clouds. Yeah, it's a pretty dreary day out there. 41 degrees, the current temperature at 6,000 feet. And here's the view in Santa Monica, where we do have mostly cloudy skies with lighter rain falling there. Rain is arriving, topping our next weather headlines. It'll be a soggy afternoon for all of us. It will be even wetter tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. That's when some steadier, even potentially heavy rainfall moves through. And it's going to be wintry in the mountains, where we have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. Downtown Los Angeles, just kind of cloudy, chilly, showery, or light rain on and off throughout the day. Lunchtime temperature 58 degrees. That's about as warm as it's going to get today. We will scratch and claw our way to about 60 for a high. Average high is closer to 70. The high desert, some showers for you, 56. The Inland Empire, rain this afternoon, 62 degrees. All right, so the rain's in. When does the rain move out? We'll have that answer for you coming up right now. Traffic's moving along. Here's Kalina with an update. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. It is moving along on the 118 here at Stearns, and you can see the road's a little wet out there, so plan ahead if you can. I do want to take you out to Orange County right now because I have a new problem on the 22 West before Grand Avenue. The right lane is blocked off. You can see that slight delay there, but more so on the 55 right before you start to transition on that 22. And the overall view of Orange County, we have traffic on the 405 through Irvine. Same deal with the 5 freeway right around that area as well. Here's a look at the Inland Empire. It has improved dramatically since what we saw, I want to say about an hour and a half ago. The 15 Cajon Pass is wide open. The 91 looks great. I do, though, have this crash on the northbound 215 at Central. It's in the center divider. The backup on that northbound 215 is about 23 minutes from Nuevo de University, so you only really need to give yourself about a 15-minute head start there. And speaking of 15 minutes, northbound 15 from Lake Street to Cajalco will take you that long to get through. Here's a look at LA. Our trouble spot is the 405 and 101, so make sure you plan ahead by about 45 minutes for both of those. Rita Bay and Jamie, back to you.
Kalina, thank you. And as the rain moves further into SoCal, an evacuation warning is issued for parts of Sierra Madre near the Eaton fire zone.
There's concern we could see more mud flows from that storm. Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom is live in Sierra Madre with a closer look at how they're rushing to clear debris. Cara.
Good morning. Neighbors here taking precautions as well. You can see some of the K-rails and the sandbags that have been put into place. Let's start with what we heard from local leaders a short while ago during an LA County update on the storm.
There's also a 10 to 20% chance of thunderstorms that could produce heavy downpours. With this level of rainfall, there's a potential for isolated mud flows, and some streets could be blocked, by mud and debris.
Early this morning, let's go to those evacuation warnings that Genesis did post for folks in this community here, warning them that there could be some very heavy debris flows to be prepared to evacuate. Emergency leaders stressing yesterday afternoon that they are concerned, in part, really concerned, because of the effects of the rains that we saw back in February. Take a look. We've got some time-lapse video of one of the debris basins as it filled up, overflowed back on February 13th, causing mud to swamp some Sierra Madre blocks. Public work crews, they have been working to clear all of the impacted basins in these hillsides ever since. But if we go to time-lapse video of that same basin from this morning, you can see the debris that is still in it. Lots of heavy equipment has been moving through the streets where we are this morning. Local leaders urging folks who live in these impacted areas to keep checking their Genesis apps as the storm does move in, because lots of mud rushed down in February, and these evacuation warnings, they say, could change to orders. Now, they tell us that folks really did cooperate the last go round, and that made it easier for them to get in and do cleanup when that mud did come down. So they're urging folks to, keep an eye on those Genesis apps and just make sure that this doesn't change from a warning to an order as we get closer to that storm.
Good advice, Cara. Thank
Back to you.
Developing news now. The search for 2 armed suspects may be coming to an end in Rancho Park. Assignment manager Mark Liu at the desk with details. Mark.
Yeah, Jamie. So LAPD headquarters said the search for those 2 armed suspects that ran from a car after it crashed into a tree might be coming to an end, because it appears those suspects, unfortunately, were able to slip away. Now, this is video from our breaking news crew who's been out at the scene all morning. This is right near the intersection of Brookhaven and Veteran in the community of Rancho Park, just northeast of the 405 and the 10. Now, LAPD headquarters said their officers tried to pull over that blue car you see there at about 3:15 this morning. That car ended up crashing into a tree. Officers said they saw 2 men jump out of the car and run. LAPD headquarters said they think at least one of those 2 men was armed with a gun, so officers requested backup on the ground and in the air. The air unit arrived. The perimeter was set up. The neighborhood was locked down. The K-9 unit was called in to search for those 2 men who ran. However, here at the desk, we just got an update from LAPD headquarters. It appears that both men have now escaped that perimeter. So LAPD is breaking down the scene. They're putting together reports that should hopefully include descriptions of who they were looking for and any other evidence they find. But it seems like this one is over for now, with the suspects getting away this morning. That's it from the desk. I'll send it back to you.
Oh boy. All right, Mark, thank you. A defeat for the Trump administration as the U.S. Supreme Court denies its bid to freeze foreign aid. In a 5-4 ruling, the High Court agreed with several nonprofit groups that the administration usurped Congress's power to control government spending. Right now, there's no timeline to release the $2 billion in foreign aid. That allows the White House to continue to dispute the issue in lower courts. The Trump administration admitted in court it is looking to kill more than 90% of USAID